Almost a year ago, I made a video theorizing about what exactly Hikari's curse technique would be and how it would function. And finally, in chapter 186 of Jujutsu Kaisen, we finally have a very solid answer. But before I get into that, as always, if you haven't already, you should definitely be sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video. I'd like to try and hit at least 100 likes on this week's review. Now then, Hikari is broken. And when I say broken, I mean like actually busted. He breaks power scaling pretty much. He is someone who the rules of the world do not really apply to, in a sense. He follows rules that allow him to break the rules. So we already found out a few chapters ago that Hikari's domain expansion allows him to get a boost of some kind whenever he hits a jackpot playing Pachinko. But we didn't know what exactly the boost was. We just kind of figured it was like a buff, pretty much. And that as long as he kept hitting a jackpot, the buffs would continue to stack. But that's not it. After Hikari hits his jackpot, music starts to play, and this music would happen to be the theme song for Pure Love Train, If You Stand Over There. And during the 4 minutes and 11 seconds for which the song plays, infinite cursed energy flows through Hikari. Now let's put this into perspective here. Yuta has nigh unlimited cursed energy. He has so much that he might as well have infinite. He will never run out. But he doesn't have limitless cursed energy. It's just a shitload. Gojo is in a similar camp to Yuta. Does not even actually have as much cursed energy as Yuta, but due to the functions of the Six Eyes, whenever he uses his curse technique, the amount of cursed energy he uses is effectively reduced to 0, so it's basically impossible for Gojo to run out of cursed energy. The Six Eyes just keeps restoring it. Hikari is the only character in the series thus far that we know of who explicitly has infinite cursed energy while in this state. That's cracked already. Because with infinite cursed energy, the amount of enhancement that he can do to himself is simply ridiculous. We already see that his physical strength and speed during this chapter is off the charts. Kashimo is keeping up with him, which, is very impressive because we've already seen how incredibly fast Kashimo is. So the fact that Hikari in this boosted state is on par with him is pretty nuts. And it's safe to assume that since he has literally infinite cursed energy in this state, he could maybe boost himself to even greater speeds than Kashimo's capable. We do know that he got over here from quite a distance from where he was fighting Charles. So certainly his speed is definitely greatly increased. He may have even jumped all the way over. We know his physical stats have definitely increased with the way he's cratering shipping containers and punching Kashimo through them. So his physical capabilities right now are some of the highest in the series while in this state. Then we have what is maybe the actually most ridiculous facet of this. At one point during the chapter, Hikari gets hit by Kashimo's lightning attack and his left arm gets blown off. But then it's back a few panels later. Hikari has never learned how to perform reverse curse technique because, it's a fairly complicated thing to do. Even Gojo wasn't able to learn it easily. He basically had to die to figure out how to do it. Very few sorcerers are able to learn how to use it, and Hikari is not one of them. But because his body is so overflowing with cursed energy in this state, it reflexively performs reverse curse technique, which means without Hikari thinking, his body is just naturally healing and regenerating. So for 4 minutes and 11 seconds after getting a jackpot, Hikari is effectively immortal. All of the injuries you deal on him, no matter how severe, will just be healed by reverse curse technique. It's questionable if even blowing his head off would kill him, because if it's just his body doing it reflexively, it may even be possible that his body would just regrow his head or something, which is absurd. And cursed energy doesn't actually flow from the head or anything. It flows out from the stomach. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that he may just actually be effectively unkillable unless you're able to pretty much just delete him with, Hollow Purple or something, or Malevolent Shrine, something of that nature. Uzumaki may be able to kill him in this state. You would have to reduce him to atoms. You would have to leave nothing left of Hikari to kill him while he's in his jackpot. And then we get the last facet. Of course, this boost only lasts for 4 minutes and 11 seconds. But because Hikari's cursed energy is infinite in this state, that means he can just keep casting his domain expansion until he gets another jackpot. Because most characters are limited by their cursed energy. This came up during the Dagon fight. The disaster spirits were incredibly powerful, but even they didn't have enough cursed energy to do multiple domain expansions a day. Unlike someone like Gojo, who is able to do that, because barely uses his cursed energy thanks to the 6 eyes, Yuta would maybe be able to use it more than once a day. Hikari has infinite cursed energy, so he can literally use it as many times as he wants when he has his jackpot. And as we see at the end of this chapter, as soon as the jackpot starts to wind down, he just casts his domain expansion again, and then just waits for another jackpot. Now, the vulnerable period for Hikari is here, because it's possible that he may not hit a jackpot until the 30th time, and that could leave him open without his boost for quite a bit of time, which would certainly be enough for someone like Kashimo to do some serious damage to him and maybe even defeat him. So, he's not unbeatable. Hikari is cracked, he is actually broken, but there are still several other characters that can beat him. Once again, characters that are capable of one-shotting, pretty much. Characters that are capable of deleting you from existence. So Gojo, theoretically Yuta, Sukuna, maybe Kenjaku, those guys. The disaster spirits, most of them are definitely fucked. I don't think Mahito could damage him in this state. It'd be a question of whether or not Hikari would be able to damage Mahito enough to be able to make up for not getting to damage his soul, because you can wear down Mahito over time. It would just take a lot to be able to do that. Then you have Jogo, who's incredibly fast, but if he's comparable to Kashimo, we could see that Hikari can handle him. So those guys, yeah. Toji, if he is in the Inverted Spear of Heaven, I guess maybe he could kill him if that's able to deactivate the jackpot. If not, I don't think Toji would be able to kill Hikari. Yeah, I think that's about the rundown for who can and cannot kill Hikari. Hikari, yeah, he about enters the top 5. Congratulations. I think that's like the first character in a while where I'm like, yeah, you're top 5. I think the last one was Maharaga. Most of the more recent characters like Ryu and Kashimo, I'm like, yeah, you're definitely top 10 somewhere. No, Hikari, top 5, honestly. Top 5 currently living characters, at the very least. Dude's absolutely busted. Now, unfortunately, Jujutsu's on break next week. What can you do about it? Gege needs his rest to be putting out this kind of fine quality. So, I'm not complaining. That means I get a Friday off. But we will definitely be waiting very anxiously for the next chapter, so we can see how this fight between Hikari and Kashimo progresses. It's off to a very good start this chapter. And with that, that's all for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Jujutsu Kaisen chapter reactions and reviews every week. If you enjoy discussing Jujutsu Kaisen with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have linked to that down in the description, and since it's the end of the video, I might as well give a shout out to my wonderful patrons. Special thanks to Archbear CJ2K, Neo, Dijon Redden, K-God, Chris Redfield, Rat, Ryzen4K, Artist, Wave of Manga, Sam the Ace, Chuck's Feed and Seed, Jakester Easy, Play Free Labs, Kenichi Kaneda, Strawbones, Neverest, Daniel Powell, Brandon Smith, Abdullah Al-Gaithi, Charles C. Hyland, and Corey Richardson. Thank you all very much for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it, and if you too want to get a shout out at some point during videos, or access to early and exclusive content, you can always become a patron as well. There's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.